Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I'm happy to see everybody this morning. If you're not already in the center of the mat, get comfortable. Relax the shoulders down and back. Bring your palms to face up. More of a receiving this morning. Close your eyes. Begin to inhale and exhale through the nose with a slight constriction in the back of the throat, known as your victorious breath or your Ujjayi breath. Begins to make an almost audible HA sound in the back of the throat as you do this. Today we're going to be practicing moving from the core. Anatomically, the core is that which lies close to our bones, gives us strength, and holds us up in life. Our core values are those that lie close to us. Take a moment to ask yourself, what are some of your core values in life? What are the things that are most important to you? What are your strongest beliefs? What are the things that give you strength? When we physically increase our core strength, we improve our balance, agility, and it makes difficult poses become a lot easier. Strong core also improves posture, reduces back pain, helps digestion, enhances breathing, and increases your emotional resilience. On the next inhale, reach your arms up tall, really getting length here in the side body. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, begin to twist open to the left. Drop your left hand behind you, right hand goes onto the knee. Shift the gaze over your right shoulder, growing tall through the crown of the head. Inhale, come back to center, reach tall once more. And as you exhale, twist open to the right. Again, remembering to keep length in the spine. As you twist, try to go a little bit deeper for me on the exhale. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, go ahead and bring the hands back down onto the knees. Shifting into your tabletop here, checking your alignment when you get there. Make sure your hands are directly below the shoulders, hips are above the knee. We've got about a fist distance between the chin and the chest, and the gaze is down. Drop the belly, bring the eyes and tail high through your cow spine. Firmly root into the hands, round the spine, bring the chin to the chest for your cat. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale, cat. Go ahead and do this a few more times with your own breath. Just getting mobility and fluidity here in the spine. Meeting me back in a neutral tabletop. Extend the right arm out like you're about to shake hands. The left toes go back on the mat. Find your stability here. Engage the core. Draw that belly button up in towards the spine. And lift those right toes up off of the mat. Really reaching for both sides of the room here. Option to stay here. Option to go a little bit further into this. Inhale to find length. And as you exhale, draw the right knee to the left elbow. Round the spine. Bring the chin to the chest. Crunch underneath the body. Inhale, extend. Reach for both sides of the room. And as you exhale, crunch underneath the body. Go ahead and do this one more time on this side with your breath. And once you've completed, reaching for both sides of the room once more. Really feeling long, engaging that core, drawing that belly button up and in, working on our balance here. Bend that right knee. Reach back, grab for the right foot on the knife edge side. Begin to kick into the hand, keeping the hips and shoulders square to the mat here. Again, getting a nice stretch in the obliques in the backside body. Inhale, really reach for both sides of the room again. And as you exhale, come back down into your tabletop. Switching sides. The left arm's gonna go out, right toes go back. Once you found your stability, lift those right toes up, reaching for both sides of the room. Keep the toes flexed in. And as you exhale, crunch underneath the body. Go ahead and flow through this 2 times with your own breath on this side. After the second time, reach for both sides of the room again, drawing that belly button up and in, really engaging the core. Bend that knee, reach back, grab for the the right foot this time with your left hand. Really kick into the hand, remembering to keep the hips and shoulders square to the mat. Release out, reach for both sides of the room once more, and then come back into your tabletop. Tuck the toes, draw the belly button up and in, hoist your hips up and back, meeting me in your downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out the knees here. Sway your hips real big from side to side. First one of the day, maybe. Find your neutral downward facing dog. Firmly root into the hands, shine the sit bones high. Keep the knees soft, actively pulling the heels down towards the mat. Shoulders are up away from your ears and your gaze is up towards your belly button. Inhale the right leg high, keep the hips square here. Open up to your half scorpion. Maybe make some circles with your ankle, big circles with the knee. Inhale the right leg back up and step it through your 2 hands. Drop the left knee and foot down, engage your core, ground down through the foot and the knee, round up, bring your biceps to frame the face. Reach tall here and give me a slight back bend, shift the gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, and as you exhale, release the hands down to heart center. Envision somebody's got a hold of the crown of the head by a string and they're pulling you up nice and tall here. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, look right, twist right, lock the elbow and the knee into one another. Firmly press the hands into each other. Bring the gaze over your right shoulder here. Untwist, bring both hands down to frame that front foot. Shift back into the hips, straighten that front knee, flex the toes in towards the nose with that right foot. It's getting a nice stretch here in the hamstrings. Lengthen through the spine and the crown of the head here. Actively trying to sit back onto your heel. Inhale, come back forward, shift the weight forward. Go ahead and let that knee come a little bit over the shin and heel. Just stretching in the groin, going a little bit further here. Shift back, flex the toes in, straighten that knee. And go ahead and just rock back and forth a couple times, just getting a little bit more mobility here in the leg. Come back to framing your right foot with the 2 hands. Tuck the left toes, lift that left knee up. Step forward into your forward fold here. Heel toe your feet out about a hip distance. That's the length of a dollar bill or your 2 fists. Bend your knees a whole lot. Grab for opposite elbows. Let your head and neck hang here for your ragdoll. We're looking for a nice decompression in the spine. Maybe sway from left to right. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Maybe make some circles with your shoulders, letting go of whatever leftover tension or stress might be up there in the back and the neck. Letting it drip off to the mat and into the arms of the divine. Release the hands down to the mat. Heel toe your feet back together, big toes touching, a little space between your ankles. Engage your core, halfway lift up, nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward, earth touch, drop your hips, and reverse swan dive up. Reach tall, upward salute here. Release the hands down to heart center. Taking a moment to set your intention, or using my mantra for today's practice. I'm the creator of my own happiness, and I stand by my core values. Inhale, upward salute, reach tall once more. Exhale, fold forward, earth touch. Plant your hands. This time, step the right foot back. Drop the right knee and foot down. Ground down through the knee and foot. Engage your core, round up. Bring the biceps to frame your face here for your crescent lunge or Anjayasana. Reaching tall here, spark through the fingertips. Slightly shift your gaze up and give me a slight back bend. Again, inhaling to find length, and as you exhale, release the hands down to heart center. Grow tall through the crown of your head here. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, look left, twist left. Walking the elbow and knee once more, bring the gaze over that left shoulder, firmly pressing your hands into one another. Remembering to breathe here, we're not clenching the jaw. Release the hands down to the mat, frame that left foot. Go ahead and shift back into the hips, flexing those left toes in towards the nose. Keep the spine long. Actively trying to sit back onto your heel here. Inhale, rise up, shift everything forward. Let that knee come over the shin and heel on the front. And go ahead and rock back and forth a few times here on the left side. Come back to your low runner's lunge, tuck the right toe, lift the right knee up. Step back to downward facing dog this time. Go ahead and pedal it out here in center if it feels good to you this morning. And find your neutral downward facing dog. Check in with your alignment. Inhale the right leg high. We're going to work our core here. Listen carefully. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. Hold here. Inhale that right leg back up to the sky. Bring the right knee to your nose. Try to kiss it. Inhale the right leg back up. Bring the right knee to your left elbow. Hold here. Inhale that right leg back up to the sky. Go ahead and exhale it down to meet the left. Again, pedaling it out, taking some big breaths in and out here. Find your neutral downward facing dog. Listen carefully. Shift the weight slightly into the right hand and right foot. Take your left hand, grab your right ankle, twist your dog. Bring the gaze up underneath of your armpit. Release and come back to downward facing dog. Switching sides. The right hand's grabbing the left ankle. Gaze goes underneath that left armpit. Release. Come back to your downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Really reach those toes up. Keep the hips square. Listen carefully. That left knee is coming to your left elbow. Holding here. Inhale that left leg back up. Three-legged dog. Bring your knee to your nose. Try to kiss it. Inhale the left leg high. Cross that left leg over to the right elbow. Hold here. Inhale the left leg high once more. Go ahead and bring it down to meet the right. Walk the hands back to your feet, coming into your forward fold at the back of the mat. Make sure the toes are big toes are touching, little space between the ankles. Drop your hips and reverse swan dive up. Reach tall here. Go ahead and drop the left arm over to the left thigh. Reach over to the left with your right fingertips. Draw your left shoulder back some, right shoulder forward some. Just getting length here on the side body, stretching out in the obliques. Inhale, come back up, reach tall. Exhale the right arm down, reach over to the right with those left fingers. Inhale, reach tall, upward salute. As you exhale, bring the hands down to heart center and sit down low in your chair pose for me. Lift the toes up, make sure that the weight is in your heels here. Engage the core, draw that belly button up and in. Really feel the fire burning here. Try to sit a little bit lower for me if you can. Inhale to find length, and as you exhale, look right, twist right. Keep the knees in a straight line. If that left knee pops forward some, pull your hip back a little bit in order to keep it in a straight line. Firmly press the hands into one another. Bring the gaze over your right shoulder. Should really feel the glutes and your core firing up here. Option to stay here, option to go a little bit deeper into this twist. Expand your arms out for me. Good job, release down. Forward fold, let everything be heavy. Heel toe your feet out about a hip distance. Take your 2-piece fingers and wrap them around your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift up, nice flat back. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, hollow out the belly, let the crown of the head and neck be soft, parallel to the mat. Big toe pull, go ahead and release. Heel toe your feet back together. Big toes touching, little space between the ankles. Engage the core, halfway lift up, nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward, release everything down, drop your hips. Reverse swan dive up, reach tall again, meeting me in high prayer this time. Begin to sit back down low into your chair pose once more. Lift those toes up, make sure the weight's in your heels. Try to sit a little bit lower for me if you can. Really draw that belly button up and in. Inhale to find length. This time look left, twist left. Look down, make sure those knees are staying in a straight line once more. Firmly pressing the hands into one another. Bring that gaze over your left shoulder. If you challenged yourself on the first side, expand your arms out here on the second side. Go a little deeper into that twist for me if you can. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, fold forward. Release everything down. Heel toe your feet out again about a hip distance. This time, take your palms, palm up. Slide them underneath of your feet. You want to keep the weight more in the heels here. Again, hollow out the belly and hinge forward. Letting the head become soft, the neck become soft. Maybe bending at the elbows, pulling your torso closer to your thighs. Maybe you lean a little further forward and you give your wrists and hand a nice massage with your feet while you're here. Gorilla, go ahead and release your hands out from underneath of your feet. Heel toe the feet back together, engage the core and halfway lift up, nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward, release down. Heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat here. Coming into your Malasana squat, sit down low. Actively pressing the elbows into the knees into the elbows. Grow tall through the crown of your head. Make sure your feet are flat on the mat. And breathe here. Creating a nice space here in the groin and the hips. One more big deep breath in. Grow tall through the crown. Release the hands down to the mat. Heel toe your feet back together. Coming into your forward fold here at the back of the mat. Go ahead and walk your hands back out. Stepping into your downward facing dog here. Downward facing dog, inhale the right leg high. Listen carefully, that right knee is going to come to your right wrist. Lay the shin bone down naturally, walk that left leg straight out behind you. Square the hips off to the top of the mat here. If you need to tuck those left toes, lift the left knee and hips up off of the mat a couple times to just really align your hips and square them to the top of the mat. Do that. The closer that this heel is to the groin, the less sensation that you'll get. The further away it is, the more sensation that you'll get. Find the spot that's most comfortable for you today. Inhale to find length, and as you exhale, begin to come into your sleeping pigeon. You come down onto your forearms. You can make little pillows with your fists, or you can come all the way down onto your forehead. Sleeping pigeons, don't get too comfortable. Wake yourself up. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Peel the torso up off of the mat. Tuck the left toes, lift that left knee, push into it, come back into your downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling out the knees again here if you need to. Inhale the left leg high. Bring that left knee to your left wrist. Finding that comfortable spot for your shin bone. Squaring the hips off to the top of the mat. Getting comfortable, finding your length, and when you're ready, moving into your sleeping pigeon here on the second side. And only going as far down as you feel comfortable this morning. Sitting pigeons, wake up, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the right toes, lift that right knee up, shift back into downward facing dog. Last one of the practice. Drop your knees down, meeting me in tabletop. We'll do a couple rolling pandas to work our obliques, and then we'll move down onto our backs. Check your alignment here in tabletop. Inhale the right arm up. Bring the gaze up towards those right fingertips. As you exhale, thread the right arm underneath of the left. Bring that right cheek to the mat. And extend the left arm out. This is our regular thread the needle. Now bring that left hand in front of your face. We're going to keep it right here, elbows bent. Press into the hand, lift the torso up off of the mat. Extend the right arm up and bring the gaze up towards those right fingertips. As you exhale, thread that arm back underneath of the left arm, bringing the right cheek back down to the mat. Inhale, back up, right fingers up, gaze up towards those right hand. Exhale, thread it underneath the left. Go ahead and do this 3 more times with your own breath on this side. Once you've completed, meet me back in tabletop. Switching sides, the left arm goes high, gaze goes up towards those left fingertips. Thread the left arm underneath of the right, come into your original thread the needle. Extending that right arm out, melting down into the mat for just a second here, don't get too comfortable. Bring that right hand in front of your face, feel the torso up off the mat. Bring the gaze up towards those left fingers once more. And go ahead and flow through this 4 times with your own breath on this side. Once you've completed, go ahead and cross your ankles behind you, sit back onto your glutes. Bring the bottoms of the feet to the mat, knees are pointing up, you're about hip distance between the 2 feet. Scoot your sit bones close to the glutes and roll all the way down onto your back. Make sure when you reach down, you can graze the back of your heels with your fingertips, setting up for our bridge rolls. You're going to lower the lower back, round it flat onto the mat first. Press into the feet, lift the glutes and hips high. Keep the neck long, make sure you're not crunching the chin in towards your chest. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, slowly lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale, round up. Push through the glutes. Bring those hips high. As you exhale, slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Continue to flow through this rolling bridge motion 5 times with your own breath. Once you've completed your 5th round, step your feet out to the edges of the mat. Bring your arms out to a T. Drop both knees over to the left, shift your gaze to the right. Bring everything back to center. Drop the knees to the right, shift the gaze to the left. Inhale, come back to center. And just wiper blade your legs from left to right a few times, going as fast or as slow as your body calls for this morning. Just neutralizing the hips and the spine after all of those little back bends. Draw both knees up in towards your armpits. Grab for the bottoms of your feet, simultaneously pushing and pulling on the feet as we flatten our low back into the mat here for our happy baby. If it feels good, maybe rock back and forth from side to side, giving the muscles of the spine a nice massage. Find your neutral happy baby. Really flattening that low back into the mat one last time here. Draw both knees in towards your chest. Grab for opposite wrists, elbows, or forearms. Squeeze everything in tight. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale, letting in all of fresh oxygen, prana, and life force. And as you exhale, letting out carbon dioxide and all of those energies that no longer serve your body. One more big, deep breath in, really squeezing everything in close. And as you exhale, release everything out. Walk the shoulders down away from your ears. Let your feet fall open wide. Bring the palms to face up. Close your eyes. Take some big, refreshing breaths in and out here. Begin to imagine your body from all sides, as if you're looking at yourself from up above. Feel yourself being pulled into that inner ocean of peace and quiet. As the ripples on the surface start to subside, the outside world can be so busy and so noisy at times, but it's inside that we can find our peace and tranquility. Continue to keep your breath soft and your mind will follow. Feel yourself moving deeper, more still, and towards your inner core. Envision that you're being absorbed into yourself. You find yourself closer to your inner bliss and your center. You begin to see a brightness there. Begin to let this brightness shine out like a lighthouse through the darkness. Wherever your attention may have drifted, bring it back to the rise and the fall of your belly. You're wiggling your fingers and your toes, turning your head from left to right, reaching up overhead and giving yourself a nice morning stretch, really feeling expansive from fingertips to toes. Still keeping the eyes closed or downcast. Move into the fetal side of your choice. Use your arms as a pillow. Smile because you gave yourself this time today. The center of existence, the center of the universe, and the center of your being is everywhere. Bring your well being, your values, your fortune, your love, all to the center of the world. The center will keep you stronger and more balanced so that disturbances are less likely to knock you off your course. Extend your positive sphere out to influence all that is around you. For every blade of grass, every grain of sand, every starburst, every particle of you is the center. You are the rise and the fall of a cosmic wave, never to be repeated, unable to be grasped, yet infinite and radiantly loved. Press up, come into your easy seat. Bring the hands into heart center. Namaste means that the light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for letting me guide you through your moving meditation this morning. Namaste.